Monday morning chill. Here with my good friend Corey. We are the Uplifters, and we're ready for quite possibly the biggest to date reveal of all time. And we don't even know what it is, Corey. We don't even know what the Londomly Londom thing is. We don't even know.
I mean, that's the best way, right? I mean, that's like, what do you guys reveal today?
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I mean, that was really well timed, actually.
I was just trying to get it up so it was ready.
Yeah, Jimmy's just excited it wasn't him.
Yeah,
so
right.
You're helping him out. So, all right,
I mean,
sorry.
You can send it to us in the private chat too, and we can play it from our end as well. But for those who don't know, this is Yukazshaddow. She is the creative director, writer, brains behind the Londomly Londom Community. I guess quests, backstory, mythology. That's how I would introduce you. How would you introduce yourself?
I'm not good at introducing myself. Usually I have to be reminded, so.
You've been on the show twice before. Like, you're one of my favorite guests. Because, like, you're so humble.
I think
once. Yeah, this is your second time, right? Yeah, because you're so humble, but actually, like, quite fun. And you're, again, one of these kind of community leaders that has kind of, breached out of a certain sector of, uplift people who are constantly running around doing quests, doing all these crazy things in the uplift world, and you guys are basically focused on Londom, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, all right. I think, Corey, we're gonna do some gratitudes, but while we get ready, why don't you just tell us how did you find the uplift, and how did you make Londom your home?
So I guess I'll call him SV here. I'm used to calling him something else from you guys. But SV, I guess he came up with this idea. And from what I can tell, it's very reflective of what you guys wanted to happen and like your initial mission and everything. And like big on community, big on gratitude. I was honestly a little thrown because I've played Minecraft servers before. I've never heard anybody say gratitude and like community. I'm like, are these... I don't know if that's how Minecrafters play. Like, honestly, I was really confused. But then, like, when he showed me a site, I'm like, wow, there's actually a big server of people. And, like, at least a lot of them want to play like this or they wouldn't be here. And, but he found somebody to help him find talent, and they searched Minecraft, and I happened to be making a Minecraft comic with my kid, so I popped up. And so he brought me into this, and he, like, explained his idea. And showed me some memes. Y'all are weird with the memes. I still don't understand some of them. Mentioned like the uplift and Corey, and like for a while he was still kind of helping me understand how it worked, because until I think I've been on the uplift less than a month because my desktop wasn't working, so I couldn't actually go in game. And like the first thing I did was like buy some London land. I was like, okay, I gotta. And now I'm in there a fair bit and meeting all kinds of people. Like, I love doing Mitzi's quests and everything. And I've had so many people just immediately reach out and like, oh, what do you need? Do you need this? If you need anything, I'll give you something. I'm like, I've never played with people like that ever.
Right.
They're like,
who are you,
what
weirdos?
do you need?
Right.
But no, just people were like giving me stuff. And like, even before I got in doing the interviews, like everybody was like, yeah, I'm known for like, I give to people when they need it. I love giving to new people. I would love to help with this any way I can. And I'm like, that's awesome. So you guys have managed to, like, with an idea, gather people here that want to be like that. And I think that's great.
Yeah, that it's interesting watching that. I was, we used to, when we started this out before it even became the uplift, we were doing the you can go through the old cathedral. It's entirely full of me and my small family's gratitudes. Like we had to build Cathedral 2.0 because we felt like we were putting it in the walls. It was ridiculous, right? and it really did see that place. And I'm like so unbelievably busy and brain tired all the time that I just can't. Like I have to sort of step away in the weekend sometimes, or I will lose my mind. But that Sunday thing is still going on in Chicken Caw, right? I was like rifling through YouTube looking for SpaceX videos. Because like I don't know if you guys saw the inspiration thing. My wife is literally like, "Let's go to space." I'm like, "Thanks for catching up." And here's since I was 5, right? So like, but it's it's dominating the weekends. But going through there, and lo and behold, there it is, right? It's the Jen and her husband Russ and Yuri, and they're just doing that thing, and it's like this big huge sort of weird Aztecian kind of thing in Chicken Con now, and so it has fed into sort of the initial boundary conditions of how you set something up. Like it can percolate out there. And I couldn't be more excited about that. Right. And I want to keep fueling that as much as possible. Cause sooner or later, we reach mass adoption on this thing and it's going to get tougher and tougher to kind of, have those values be percolating in the same way. I think I hope not, but watching everything that you guys are doing, it really, honestly, it fills me with hope because the more people that really dive into this ethos early, the longer the trend sticks around, right? The more the pattern kind of percolates into whatever this thing becomes when we have 1,000 people in game every day and when we have 10,000 people in game every day,
Yeah, absolutely. So you get something more like what you wanted instead of a bunch of people who jump on here. They're like, yeah, let's make money.
Right. And I mean, yay too, right? Like that. Yeah. Like watching
that's been exciting.
Right? Yeah. Watching this going over the Axie Infinity, like Axie Infinity times like a gratitude cult. Sign me up. Literally just throw away the pen. Like I want to be in on that. Super fun.
Are you saying that we're going to get pets we can breed in battle? Is that what you're saying?
Here's what I am relatively certain of. There's a lot of talk about pets.
Oh my goodness. I was joking. I'm excited now.
Yeah. Pets that can battle, I think no. But what do I know? So here and now I'm thinking what if we could do that? So I think what Dr. Wayne was saying is we could, and this is like R&D, right? If anybody comes at me like, hey, when pets, I'm gonna get really, really sad because right now, never. But on the R&D side, we're sort of looking at can we attach pet ownership to an NFT? So technically, you'd have an NFT, you'd have your pet on it. Maybe we could have a picture on it. Hopefully, we can even have the name of your pet on it or whatever. That's an NFT. That's interesting, right? But what if we just added a bunch of attributes to Jimmy and gave them all power stats? Like they couldn't duke it out in game, but they could duke it out outside the game.
I'll be honest, I'm already personally kind of looking into and working on something like that for my on my own.
There's a lot of juice there. I mean, Axie's $1 billion company now.
Yeah, right? And I mean, who didn't love Pokemon?
Almost everyone apparently loved Pokemon. And
you say that like you didn't.
I played Pokemon Go. I'm not gonna lie. Don't tell me. I totally did.
I might be the one person in the world that never did. Actually, I watched people play it. But
right.
But what about the cards? That's the important part.
I thought you were going to say, what about the cars? And yes, I almost saw a Pokemon Go car incident. I will leave it there as well.
I didn't do the cards. Nope. But I should have, apparently. All right. Sorry, guys.
I think you have Corey's coffee cup.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is a pretty good coffee cup. I like the palms.
It looks very Florida.
Palm is very, very good.
Yeah, I think I might have bought that in Hawaii when I was there. I can't remember, but yeah, it's a pretty good coffee cup. I'm drinking tea though, actually.
Yeah,
why not? I mean, and yes, thank you, Data Stream. I do look damn fresh and smooth today. It's because I had a shower just before the show because I'm trying to get healthy, and I went for a run down by the river, and it was great. Thank you. Now the weather with Corey.
What is happening?
I don't know. Do you want to do some gratitudes?
Yeah, I am actually ready
before the big reveal because I'm super excited. I don't know how long we can hold this reveal off, but we got a trailer, a properly made trailer. Also, after the trailer, we've got a couple more reveals, which is going to be really cool. There's a new background on the show, which is super sweet. New backdrop for us.
Stuff going on. The sun's coming up.
I'm just now seeing the comments, but hi, Alpha.
Dude, that's so sci-fi, that view when you turn there. It's so sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the real goal here is to make this so lucrative that everybody has great computers and can use shaders all the time.
Yes.
Yuka said something really funny today because she's just like, I don't know, like what happened, like there's so many people that like are having trouble, streaming and doing live streams in the Uplift at the same time. We all need to buy new computers. And I'm like, yeah, I can resonate with that. Pretty much everybody does. So many people have said to me, it's my goal to have whatever computer Corey has, because whatever that does, it seems to work. And I'm just like, oh, this is really funny.
I'm grateful for the wonderful people in London this morning. Yuka, how about you?
Shoot, I'm grateful for a lot, but let's go ahead and say, like, I'm grateful to be here in the Uplift. It's true. It's not pandering.
Can I say Yuka from London?
Yeah, I mean, if you can fit it on there, go for it. We need bigger signs.
Amen. Dang it.
Nice, Irish.
London.
That's awesome.
I got it. Hold on here. Boink. Jimmy.
I'm grateful for creative storytellers and builders in the Uplift, but I don't think in the Uplift will fit. But you can just put in UW. Because with this story comes a series of builds that I don't know which came first, actually. I don't know whether the story came first or whether the builds came first. I'm kind of excited to know the answer to that, actually.
I'm pretty sure the build came first, but I didn't see the physical build other than pictures for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. There's a blog as well, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But this is the reveal of the quest, and this is kind of like the prologue, right? Like
yeah, I mean, it's literally the prologue.
And it's going to be, the beginning of something that's probably going to continue for quite a while, right? Like you have plans to keep this going. It's not just a one-off thing. It's not just a quest. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but you mentioned that I think the quest was going to take like quite a long time. Like how long is one of these quests planned on taking in general?
We did a test run yesterday, and it went on long enough that he wasn't able to finish it before he went to bed. But part of that was I had to fix something. I made something potentially impossible, and I decided that if people start complaining about stuff being too easy, I'm bringing that back.
Okay, that's nice.
Like it was bad enough that I was having trouble finding things I put in myself.
So I'm guessing you've got like beds and locations where people can camp out, and if they have to sleep and things like that.
No, actually, we don't anticipate anybody dying. If you manage to die on the plot, we will not be held responsible. We don't have a lawyer, but please don't sue us. But we'll unblock you.
That's hilarious. I mean, you get all your stuff back usually, unless you burn in lava, I think, and even then, I'm not sure.
I mean, this is all Genesis, so.
It's Genesis.
Yeah, sorry. That's why you're thinking people were dying.
Sorry. You're right. You mentioned that on the Uplift. Sorry, you mentioned that on the Journey episodes that the Londomly Londom community was going to do the quest in Genesis just because of the builds. Yeah. I understand now. Sorry, I totally blanked out. It gets confusing, right? Because it's Londomly Londom.
No problem. Because I mean, we are moving to London. This connects it to London, and then the next chapter it's going to start being in London with occasional like forays into the other dimensions. Sorry, lands. I'm calling them dimensions. You guys can use that if you want.
Sure.
It's cooler. I'm just saying.
I mean, we were thinking about sectors, or I like dimensions actually. I mean, we do have the portal room. I mean, I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to call it whatever the community calls it. We're just gonna have to get strong armed into whatever, right?
Hoping for dimensions.
So I don't know. Do you have anything else to say, or do you just want to jump in with 2 feet to this awesome trailer that you guys built?
I guess I might as well just like remind people, because like I know last time I decided to do a really late interview with you guys. Not sure a lot of people tuned in, but so this is based on London, but anybody can be a member. Like we're hoping for like lots of people to become members, but you do get extra things if you have land in London. We want to fill up London and have everybody playing. We want people visiting London and then wanting to get land and join and everything. But this is all about community. So like rewards are largely based on helping the community. Like, are you contributing something great to building the community itself, the story, helping your fellow players? Those are all things we want to reward. And we've got a point system set up on Discord to do that. There's rankings. Each of the rankings has rewards, all of that. And then everything ties into the storyline, which features the players themselves. So like the more involved you are, the more likely you're going to have a character up in the storyline.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's
I've read the part that comes after it, obviously, and there's some well-known characters in there, and it's quite interesting how you work them in. So I think like if you want to get the kind of backdrop on the Londomly Londom community without like any of the storyline details, there's a link below for the Journeys episode that we did about a month ago with Yukazshaddow.
Awesome.
And you can definitely check that out. But the story basically begins here today with the release of this trailer, right? Like before it was just kind of the building of all the things that had to go into it. And I don't even think we went on to the plot. We didn't even show anything.
Yeah, you wanted to. You pushed hard. You guys were like, you guys were basically like, please, are you sure we can't? And it was wonderful.
Yeah. I think, that was, I groveled a little bit for sure.
I don't know if you noticed, but we were taking bets earlier. I think that it's possible that you might be one of the ones to finish it first because you wanted on the plot so badly.
I know, right? And I'm gonna like I might even have to bet against myself, because here's the problem. I like after this is over, I have to sleep because I have like 3 streams tomorrow. So I'm not even gonna be able to start until tomorrow afternoon. So I was kind of hoping that it would take 4 days so I would have a head start. But yeah.
I'm on 3 hours, so you could just
You're on 3 hours.
3 hours of sleep. So sacrifice some sleep and do a quest, maybe. I don't know.
I know, right? Like I should do that because no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm making a New Year's resolution in September to be healthier. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's why I'm drinking tea. I mean,
I just assumed you drank tea already. You look like you drink tea.
Jesus, people. If people's assumptions were true, I would be so much healthier.
I just read your permaculture list.
Right?
Permaculture the other day.
Right. So I said I started cycling to work yesterday, and somebody's like, "Oh, really? I just figured that you were a cycler." And I'm like, "I'm not." It's like, anyway, show us the reveal. Quit stalling. This show's isn't about me.
Let's
this
rock and roll.
about
What's going on right now?
One quick thing though.
Jimmy, do you drink tea?
The quest starts now with the trailer alpha. It doesn't start this afternoon. You can literally like watch this trailer. Preferably don't ignore us afterwards. Read the thing below and just get started. The trailer's the start of the quest.
Yeah. So
I don't know why I'm pointing up.
You can, yeah, that's fair enough. Point down. Well, it might be up on your screen, but so the trailer is going to be revealed today. If they need to watch the trailer back, where will that be located?
There's I just posted it. I'll post it also in Telegram and on Twitter and everything else.
Okay, sure. And I think we might even put it at the top of the blog. But like in the link below, the prologue is below, so you can go over onto the Uplifter site and you can read the chapter 1 about that. But yeah, you don't have to wait until. See, people are already going to get a head start. And if you leave the stream, I'm watching. If you leave the stream, I'm coming for you. Jimmy D's coming for you in the nether. Don't be.
He's only coming for you.
Right? Don't be skipping out on the rest of this episode. Corey's probably already there. He's probably already like running around in London. What's going on?
I'm
Yuka.
cool. I'm not that cool.
Okay. Should I share my screen or something?
Or you can send a link to private chat. If you send it to Corey, his volume stream.
Oh, that's really the private chat. I'm still figuring out how this thing works.
Yeah, no problem.
I am.
There we go. I think that's it.
Ready. Give me a second here. All right, and then we do this. Man, my running commentary is on point. It's not.
use Corey's computer resources here.
Right. There we go.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Right. One here. Wonder if I could.
But if you haven't seen the actual like teasers that they put up, they were brilliant. So like if you've seen those, you know this is going to be good, right?
And those
I
are on
haven't
their
seen
channel
this.
too.
Like, I have no idea what's going to happen here.
Right. Game on, weirdos.
I have always been a dreamer.
I'm sorry. This is already so good. I get so excited about shit like this. I'm gonna start it over. I just had to have a little moment.
Wipe the tears from your eyes.
See, like if you'd have told Greg and I when we first started fucking around in Minecraft, like, hey, that dumb thing Corey said a month ago is actually gonna happen, and also the trailers coming out of this are gonna be lit, I would have laughed, cried, and fell over. I just would not have believed it. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
I have always been a dreamer, just as you are dreaming now, Wanderer. In my youth, my dreams showed me such fantastic visions, fantastical worlds, and grand journeys, wonders greater than my eyes had yet beheld. It was my grandmaster, Corey Cottrell, a world creator unlike any other, who first showed me the true nature of my dreams. I was not just a dreamer, but a seer of that which has not yet come to pass, and soon a builder of stories. As the years flew by, I had the great privilege to pass through each of my dreams, given reality by my own hands, my own choices. And I came to realize that this was the nature of dreams, to become our reality, our future. Only I had been gifted a clearer glimpse than most. As my dreams grew in number, they began to branch like an ever-growing tree, and I knew that my choices were now laid out before me. Step by step, I picked my own path, gazing eagerly ahead to the time when I would behold my destiny. Yet, when that time came, I found myself in the Grand Master's workshop, full to the brim with magical vials. I was puzzled that this should be the end to my journey, and yet something drew me, a random vial, which to me shone so much brighter than the others. On its side was etched one word, Londom. Unable to stop myself, I opened the vial and inhaled deeply its sweet vapor. A new world exploded before my eyes, visions of its past, present, and future racing through my mind, until, at last, I blinked, and I stood no longer in the workshop, but before my Grand Master, in this new world, this Londom. And now I tell you the secret which he bestowed upon me there, that this is not your ending any more than that was mine, but a new beginning, which is held in this seed, given to me by the Grand Master himself, now held before you, as you join me on this quest. With our combined dreams, your choices, and my glimpse into the future, we will build London's destiny, branch by branch. From this beginning, we will build a community of choice, cooperation, and above all, gratitude, filled with the greatest wonders of our imaginations, in a world where our fate is crafted by our own hands. Take my hand, adventurer, gaze into the future with me, and let us decide what our path holds. Our journey begins here, in the uplift. Come to me and step into our story.
I mean, I don't even know how to process what I just saw.
Right? That's a one hell of a magnificent brain you have
like
there,
this guy's
Yukazshaddow.
face. Kind of where I'm at right here.
Thanks. We put a lot of effort into this and like back and forth just getting that trailer done.
I can only imagine. I mean, that like, how did you do that?
Right?
How did you pull that off?
So we had
so
like
good.
we had like an amazing animator. We had some weirdness just because of translation issues. That's why there's a room full of rails for the record. That was an accident, but we loved it. So it's like, oh, this is kind of epic. We don't know why there are rails all through the air and everything with Corey standing there, but we love this. Okay, rails, uplift. But like, yeah, like SV gave me a concept. He hired an incredible animator. He helped me clarify back and forth. And he was like, I don't even remember the original direction. He was like something like this. And I was like, I sat there for like a week and I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to come up with this? And then one day I was like, what? And I just sat down and I'm like, no, this is the trailer. This is what's going on.
That's incredible.
And what that first like teaser of a teaser with the blooper and everything they were filming for this and getting screenshots and everything.
So like we're about to release something that Bullshipples and crew made that I'm really, really excited about. And it's like good enough that, you know, the CEO of Legend, of course, is our parent company. We're talking to them about, you know, like they seeing this or like, okay, well, what's the like super blockbuster trailer version of this? And like, I need your animator now. Like that is so good. Please connect me because I mean,
yeah, he was great.
Oh my God. It's so good. It's weird seeing me as a Minecraft person animated, I'm not gonna lie. And super flattering.
Honestly, I sketched out a version of you where it was you, but you were a wizard. And like your robe had your little logo and everything, but we wanted to make sure that you were more recognizable. But I was like, really, I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't have a Corey wizard running around.
Oh man, no, just that I get to be in there at all is such an unbelievable honor. It's so good. And the wizard is like, just leave the wizard is the wizard. I mean, that's just like, he does such a great job. So did you guys
Are we
get,
gonna
like,
have to change the
like,
name of this? Are we gonna have to change the name of this show to with Corey Cottrell and Jimmy D?
Whatever we need to do. Yep.
It's so good.
Everybody should start calling you by that name.
I mean, I'm all right. I'm here for that. Yeah, it's that's incredible. All right, I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just gonna have some coffee.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you wrote that is just amazing. Again, go and check out the Uplifters, the uplift.world, the blog section. The last post, we just published it a couple hours ago, is the prologue to this. And it basically introduces a bunch of the other characters that are in Londom and in the game and in the metaverse already. Like some people that we know really, really well, right? Like they're always in the chats, they're always in the game. Waxverse is in there, DeadSec is in there. There's a few others, a bunch of others are in there as well. Yeah, so I think like fictionally, like you told me that you spent like a number of years, like a decade or so, like working on this basically novel. I'm sorry, I'm gonna out you here, but working on this like science fiction novel in your free time.
That one was fantasy.
Fantasy novel in your free time, right? And like, you know, I just want to say like you have a gift for writing this kind of stuff. Like it's really, really well done. I mean, I hope that like, you know, someday you finish your novel. I hope that like other people realize how amazingly talented this is. And like that was a great video and the animation was great. But like, you know, the wording was all yours. So make sure that you go and you read that blog, right? Like go and read that blog. If you don't like reading, I don't care. Go read that blog, right? Like, because it's really good. We need to appreciate great builders, but we also need to appreciate great writers. And if they put a lot of time into this, and I just want you all to go and be a part of it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope this project and stuff like it brings back, like, you know, Roman style patrons of the arts where they're like, I have a lot of crypto to spend. I really like your stuff. I'm just gonna throw crypto at you while you make stuff.
So okay, Yuka. Okay. When Londomly Londom Community NFT line, and can you release, I don't know if you should do 10 or 100 of those as a thing, because that's the vector, right? And then
like storylines,
like having that, like the way that patrons will now support what you guys are doing with that project is by you guys starting an NFT line of the process of it, the artwork, the writing, the everything. Create an NFT line for that. Watch it fly off the fucking shelves.
Yeah, that's what we're working on. We're trying to figure out connecting story to that sort of thing too.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
don't wait.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
TC would buy right now. Like I'm no bullshit. I'm trying to figure out if I have enough fiat to buy today. I wasn't going to buy on this red day, but I want to buy some wax so that I can buy more land in London. I have lots. I don't fucking care. I want more now. Like it, what you guys are doing there is such an amazing and beautiful and ridiculously fucking fantastic thing that I kind of can't handle it. So, I mean, like today, start an NFT line, make an NFT. Like I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Do not wait on this.
I think you will be pleasantly surprised if you finish the quest in that regard.
All right, I have to go finish. This would be the only quest I've ever
Jimmy's
done.
going to be
by the
falling
way.
so far behind.
Right? Yeah, exactly. All right. If anyone has any hints about the quest, let me know. You weird.
No, you got to enjoy it
Cunters.
properly.
Okay, I'm sorry. Damn it. You're right.
If my kid can wait and do it, then you can wait and do it. He's waiting to like jump on right now.
That's fair. Okay. All right.
Oh, I didn't mean to like make you feel like a child.
You didn't. I am. Like that's the reason why I said you're right. It's like I am basically a 13-year-old caught in a 46-year-old body. Like that's just, it is known.
And I, honestly, while I was writing on it, while I was writing this, actually over the past couple of days, because it did that thing where it like changed. I thought it was going one way, and then I was walking around our build, and the build was like, "No, this is what's happening with the story." I'm like, "Crap!" But I was like, as I was writing it, I was like, and connecting everything to London, I'm like, "Oh, I would love to see this just grow and like be part of the whole uplift and see story like this."
Yep. Speaking of which, I gotta make sure that Jen sees this really soon. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm on with her on Thursday. I hope she sees
oh,
it.
good. No, I'm sure she will. She'll see it before then. That's awesome. Yeah, she's gonna love this times a trillion.
Awesome.
I mean, everybody on our team already does. Gary's in our Slack. I mean, continuing his standing ovation that he started here appropriately. God damn. Like, that's just like, yep.
I like that there's
I kinda
someone
just
in the
wanna
chat
watch it.
even reminding you to do it properly, just to like double down on that.
What's that? Yeah, no, I'm being told, and you're all right. Like, you're all completely totally right. That's just a thing that's real.
I'm just honestly, I did not realize that you were going to be on here, Corey. So I'm really jazzed that I got to see your reaction when you popped up on screen. Like that made my day. I was like, I was hoping I'd at least hear about it.
Yeah, man, it's humbling. It really is. Like that, and that part's fun. But I think like having a wizard, an animated wizard, talk about gratitude as a function of community in the uplift, in like a small part of the uplift that is like a burgeoning hyperactive community where like, the freaking Gunter quests are actually ongoing. Like all the thing, I have all the feels because like it's all happening, right? Like the thing that we didn't predict, we hoped would happen is happening. And it's because of, people like you and your whole team, and just the amount of creativity that's getting unleashed is insane. It's just insane. And really fucking exciting.
Yeah.
Because where is this going to be in a year? I have no idea. No clue. It's going to be awesome though. Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you guys are planning on rolling these out on a fairly semi-regular basis. I don't know if that's public knowledge or not yet, but you guys have kind of a timeline on how often you want to put these out too.
Not really. I'm doing this when I can because I got to pay bills and all that. So like, I'm not really sure on the timeline as much as I can devote. Yeah, I'm a self-employed creative person. You know how that goes.
Start an NFT line. People will start buying those NFTs.
Absolutely.
It's such an important step. Even just like the having that trailer go out and like stills from it, audio from it, anything around the quest or whatever, like that, just like anything that's part of that creative process. Projects that are of like they don't connect with anything. They're just kind of standalone art, which again, great, but this kind of thing that's connected to a community and a cause and a game and are going to be infinitely more attractive, not only to players but to collectors and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I
mean it's more valuable. Yeah,
it really is, right? Because like where to be at the very, very beginning of London, which isn't a world in the uplift anymore. It's a movement now. Who saw that coming? Not me. It was like, hey, we should give some land away and call it London because that's fucking funny. But it's bigger than that now, right? And you guys are the ones that are building that value in. And I mean that just it just begs to be an NFT product where people can actually support you guys.
I want to do at some point a release of some of our bloopers just from making this happen.
Yes.
And I know one in particular, if with your permission, because it involves you, it involves your character. If we can put that one out, and like honestly, if that's an NFT, I think a lot of people want it. I want it.
Right? Yeah. No, you guys do whatever the hell you want with
this one. This one, I think you might need to. I know you might need to. Jimmy knows about it. I told him about it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't know. Like he'll get a kick out of it. I think it'll be funny. And like you said, most people wouldn't have even noticed until But yeah, I think
there was a part of me that wished we didn't notice, and it just popped up in the trailer, and you guys noticed.
Jimmy, like, can they release it knowing that?
Oh, they can totally release it.
I figured. That's what I figured. Yeah, it's like, and yes, please get after it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Dude, they're asking about the price tag hanging off your head.
So that's actually not a price tag. It is a tiny little bit of dried ayahuasca. This whole thing right here. Google ayahuasca if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't you get high off of that?
High is very. It's a term with a lot of baggage that I would
Don't
not
you get
use.
spiritual off of that?
It will basically. It's the Matrix where it gets all the information of the entire universe jacked in the back of his head. It's like that, only more.
Oh, so that's why we have an uplift.
I could draw a straight line between my first ayahuasca trip and the uplift being existing. I really could.
I'm gonna have to try it and see what happens with the Londomly storyline.
I mean, it's not a terrible. And again, like this is not an endorsement in public or whatever. You need to make sure that if you look into anything like that, I really lucked out. Really good friends of mine were connected with people that were doing this in a very, very, very careful and intelligent and meaningful way. A lot of people aren't. So it's not something to just kind of go try it in Orlando.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like,
I'm not sure you should try anything in Orlando.
Show over. That's a really, really good tagline to just finish the show. But yeah, I mean, it's probably the single most profound thing I've ever experienced, and it's not fun. It's definitely not something that you do for fun. You need to do it, thoughtfully. But it'll crack your brain open and stick a whole bunch of shit in there. That's pretty good.
And from that conversation, the uplift got super crazy awesome. As a lot of people started creating on ayahuasca.
Right.
Have you seen the psychedelic, like Jesus in the sky? We'll start seeing stuff like that.
I mean, I see it in our metaverse all the time. Gary just asked, what's that nice wallpaper behind Corey? Yeah, Gary actually took this shot. This is the new class gallery. I think he said this is in Uplift, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he told me it's actually 4,011.20 where you can find this thing. I haven't been there yet. I really love this shot that Gary took, so it's my background now. So.
It was one of the biggest one-time picture installs ever done. I think it was the biggest.
I think it was. It's like 56 or some crazy shit like that. Like,
oh my goodness. Oh, so I just remembered that if you guys wanted, I was going to show you like the very, very, very first part on the plot.
Okay.
Which would also help make some things clear as people do this. If you wanted.
I can head over there. I got to pull the game back up. I lost it. So sorry.
Oh, I was
Gary's
just going to show it on my side, but maybe your machine can handle it better.
Whichever. If you want to show it now, it's going to take me a few seconds to get the game up. Class art is a Genesis. Oh, that's Freddy's Tower. I didn't even know. I don't know what that is. All right. Sorry, man. Gary, tell us about this thing. Or not. Class art is that Genesis. Okay, fair enough.
So just to address a couple people's comments above, little Mobcraft, a few other people were asking, Rebel Joker. I mean, again, I think Corey put this out there, so I just want to, kind of say it again, right? Like, we didn't really know about this Londomly Londom thing. This has nothing to do with us, right? Yukazshaddow and SV took it upon themselves to organize around Londom for whatever reason, and they come up with this brilliant idea. They come up with this brilliant mythology. They come up with this brilliant quest, and they put that out there. They put the trailer out by themselves. I mean, some people want to know how long it makes. I guess it'll be up to you to tell them. But go join their Londomly Londom Telegram group. They have one that's dedicated to all this stuff, so you can ask all those questions over there. As for I want to quote unquote, I want to make an animated video of the Uplift world. Well, go for it. There's been tons that have been made, right? And this by far is probably one of the best in my opinion, but there was a Joker Batman one that was made where people were running around, I think in Chicken Caw and a story that was put to that. There's been a few that have been put out there, right? So you guys can do all of these types of animated creative crazy things, right? As far as quests go, there's things happening all the time over in Londom, with Mitzi and her NFT, hotels and stuff like that. The community seems to be rallying around, one another to do these quests. And I think if you're good at Yagi, who's been making a bunch of videos for a bunch of different projects to showcase all over. There's lots of people doing it. So yeah, I mean, you have permission to film and put it out there. Let us know. We're happy to share it and retweet it because that's what we do, right? We want people to see those awesome things, those awesome builds, come and be engaged, right?
Where am I going in London?
I sent you the coordinates in private, but you can't say it or post it anywhere because normally people are going to have to read and find their way there.
Okay.
I pointed the right direction this time. And yes, Rebel, I mean, it technically currently exists. This is one of the things I do for a living. So yeah, Yuka's storytelling service already exists.
And as Gary said, right, you can hire them for jobs. Wink, wink. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you're for hire. Yuka, I don't know. You can put that out there if you want.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
we're reasonable storytelling stuff, just so we're making clear. I don't want any weird ideas.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
it's gonna take me a while to get there.
No,
hey,
you can't show going there. You can't show going there. That's spoiler.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what direction it is, but that's it. That's all you know now.
Yeah, you can show once you're on the bridge.
Once I'm on the bridge,
that's
got
the
it.
part you can show.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. So this is taking about 10 minutes to get down there. So
yeah. So while you do
Carry
that,
what happened to your admin privileges?
I only have them in a few places where I kind of need them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
While you do that, yeah. So you can come over here onto. Oops. Where are we here? You can come over here onto our blog, and this is the first part of the quest that Yukazshaddow wrote, and you can go through and read all about all of the characters. Sorry, it's taking a while to
And
load
honestly,
there.
the characters I'm really excited about. Like this set of characters we have, those won't be the only ones. The more active you are, the more likely you're going to be on here. We want to feature everyone who has London Land and is active in the course of the storyline, like everybody.
Yeah, so all these people are people doing things in London already, right? Like Alpha, Neo, Waxorus. You might know Waxorus, Eternal.
Yeah. And they all had input on their
Kurixa,
characters. So
Hurricane, Studebaker, Jamesy, Deadsec, and Cross. Yeah, and so like you can go here and read the story with some really cool images that take place in the uplift. It was really fun to read and really creative, and yeah, it just read really well. So I encourage you all to do that. It's not that long. You know, it reads almost like a almost like a comic book in a way. It's great and really inventive, and definitely go and check that out.
thank you. Also, just to be clear, y'all need to get your reading caps on and just like reading, because there's a lot of reading in this. That think back to like old story-based like text adventures, but with more cool stuff going on, and you can move around.
Now, and so I want to ask something as well while we're waiting to get over there. It says at the bottom, basically, that like this is kind of like it's almost like a choose your own adventure type of thing where like community will have like input into this. So do you want to kind of like explain how that's going to work? Like you already kind of alluded to the fact that like the more active you are in London, the more of a role you'll play in the storyline. Like, is there a process that people should be aware of, or is this just kind of a haphazard, happen by stance type of scenario?
It's a bit of both, honestly, because I mean that's how I write too. I just kind of like do things. Like I said, this changed in the last 48 hours, and I had to rewrite everything. But so like to some extent, just people being active, that's going to influence the story. But starting at the end of chapter 1, we're going to give them an active choice. Like, here's 2 directions. What do you guys as the community want to see us do next?
Yeah, I really that's really interesting, right?
Yeah.
And it was a kind of a similar, I don't think it was 2 choices, but it's kind of a similar thing as like, projects like Alpaca World, so the same guys behind Nefty Blocks kind of did with like Tupac and like his journey through the NFT kind of travel space. But like, I think that this is going to be really interesting, right? Because you're going to choose, and like what happens to that other storyline. We kind of talked about this in our last episode.
I hope that you keep remembering and you make that. I want to see it.
What happens to that other storyline? Because there's some really interesting possibilities here, right?
And then there's input on the characters too. Like any one of these people, if they don't like how I'm portraying their character right now, they can talk to me at any time and be like, well, what about this? Or I'd like to see this. They've already had some input. I was like, hey, if you have, like, what are some fantasy story aspirations? If you were in a fantasy story, what would you want to happen? And I'm going to try and make it happen, even if it gets a little weird sometimes.
Hey, do you know what? Like, I'm going to go back to this, but like there's kind of a whole new nifty story there with Corey Cottrell, because it kind of, that blooper maybe wasn't a blooper. Maybe it happened as part of his ayahuasca trip. I mean, it's possible that's just something that he forgot. Right?
That should make it into the description for the NFT.
That's totally it.
It's just Corey on a Corylus Contralium on ayahuasca.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Right. I mean, it could have been after some drunk strumming back in his musician days, or a just chilled out day on a paddleboard and he got really tired. It could have been anything, really. I mean,
I can't guarantee that when he's next written in there, he's not going to be a little bit of a stoner wizard.
You kind of screwed yourself now. You went from
It happens. I mean, especially like, and I think that's one of the great things about connecting this with the game. Like, I have more ideas for the people I've interacted with more. Like some of them, as I was doing these interviews, we had like great conversations and I got to know like them, their motivations, like why they're here, why they want to give to other people, stuff like that. And I got to know some backstory. I've played with some of them in game now. And the more I get to know them in the game, like the better idea it gives me for their character in the metaverse, which I think is awesome for them. Like, I mean, I think I would like that personally. Like, hey, people know me in this game and they can see me up here.
Yeah, and a lot of them are really active in the in the chats, in the world chats, and also like in our Discord and our Telegram as well. So I think it's just really cool.
Absolutely. There we go. So, like, if you look at the signs there, yeah, this is where you start. Left first. We're doing English style reading.
English style reading. That checks out. Whoa. Too much crap.
Oh yeah, there's a sign to your right to remind you right there to cast away your worldly treasures so that you can gain knowledge, because things are gonna pop into your pockets, and if your pockets aren't empty, you won't get them.
Disband the inventory. I mean, this is going to be a lot more. Once this gets to London and it's a survival server, that's going to be a lot more telling, right?
Yeah.
When you can actually
need so many cows.
All right. I actually just fired off. So Rockwell, our CEO, just saw that video. He's like, wait, these people are just doing this on their own? Like, Elsie might want to join me live. Okay, so we gotta read this here, right? What's happening? Okay.
And for the record, if your inventory looks like Corey's, you're not gonna get anything out of this.
All right, so
you need to have so many empty slots.
Here, I mean, whatever. I don't really need any of this stuff. And luckily, it's gonna get picked up because
somebody gets there while we're doing the video and sees all of Corey's stuff, and it's like, what?
I mean, I'm keeping the snowballs because I know what's up. How much room do I need? Do you think?
Like 2 rows.
Wow,
that's
right.
That's not fuck around.
Yeah, that's like a.
Yeah, you should see my inventory right now. I'm like, okay, how do I just make sure I don't lose these? And I was like gradually running out of space and making those stacks. I don't know if you guys have tried to make stacks of like copies of books, but it's terrible. Their mechanics in the game for that are awful. They don't stack like regular books. You have to do it kind of one at a time, dragging.
If you're reading this, young wanderer, you will know that you have found some of the many lost pages. The first piece of Londomly rests in your capable hands, and you are one step closer to the first branch in your journey, your first choice. You will have shared in the storyteller's dream and received his summons. You will have glimpsed the great expanse of London and felt the call of community stir in your heart. And you will know that it is I, the storyteller, Alzapadium, who speaks to you now from this page in the words of Forgotten Mind. Perhaps as you read this, you are standing within the grandeur of my childhood home, Lontar, where the unique treasures of Londomly, our young community, will one day be displayed. If you are, then I know you may also find me in the less than flattering position. I do hope you will overlook this and cast the image from your mind. And if not, then I hope you have yourself a good, hearty laugh, for laughter is one of life's great treasures. I will leave it at that, dear wanderer. After all, you have a journey to begin. Do not allow me to keep you. Now is the time for you to discover the past and learn those lessons it offers for the future. Now is the time to think of community. From here on, the story is yours.
Oh, and if that wasn't good enough for you,
and it was,
you get rewards for doing this quest.
I want to avoid my pile of shit.
I'd say don't go any further though, just yet. So people don't see. Or if you're going to go further,
no, you're totally right. No, I'm with you.
Hey,
You're
and
picking up so many books.
Corey was just going to tell you.
Ooh, is that a dude? Cool.
I mean, it's a really good build, right?
Right?
And those shaders, man.
Yeah, so this is what we weren't allowed to reveal on the Journeys.
I love that it's like.
Journeys
I love that it's
episode.
like kind of it's sort of built into the cloud kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so well done.
And I put the shape of this and everything. It's all in the lore, and the lore connects to London. The lore connects to the uplift. This build itself
insane.
was a huge inspiration for it.
Right?
Just don't show details.
No, I'll stand way back.
It's gonna be your fault when the hard shit comes back, Corey.
Right?
To Steve Newsom over there, if you read the blog post down below, your clues for getting to our plot are going to be in the story. A lot of this is clue based, and you're going to have to like read and work your brains.
There's a really great.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is really awesome. There's a really great story, basically, with a bunch of different landmarks that tell you exactly how to get here through the blog post, right? So start there, follow those clues, follow those directions.
And for the record, that like, I meant to give you the names of the plot owners so you could put them in there, because absolutely credit goes to these plot owners. Like, I didn't work with them.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, no problem. We can we can edit that in anytime.
I was just like, these are interesting plots on the way to our build. I want to shout them out and show them, because this is the kind of thing we want to do in London too. We want to include other plots and like bring traffic.
Right. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll put them in tomorrow when I wake up, or tonight before I go to bed, and we'll make sure that everyone knows who they are.
Thanks, Gary. I think somebody just magicked it into daytime.
I just assumed you did.
No, I'm cool. I'm not that cool.
I liked the night view with those stars. I felt it tied into the whole thing very well.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the night view too, but the day view is cool. I mean, you can't have a not cool view with this build, really. I don't think.
That's tough.
Yeah. So IM says he has plots for your quest in Londom or Genesis. Now,
awesome.
Yeah, like, are you? I'm really interested to see where this goes, because like there might be people who like are following these clues from the beginning of the story to this bridge here, and they are at the point where they're just like, hey, my plot's right there, and like they might build something into the story on the journey that like comes back and like becomes part of the next segue or something like that. I think there's just a lot of things.
I would absolutely love to see that more than like a random troll face or something pop up. I'd like to see the story like built into the world, and that's what I'm hoping to encourage here.
Ooh, that's a good selfie. I like it.
Look, it's Corlys Cottrell. Grandmaster's visiting the plot.
That's nuts. Anyways, I'm just like, there's just not really any way to get the scale. Anyway. So I don't know about you guys, but what I want to do is watch that video again.
Yeah, let's watch the video again, and then that'll be it for tonight. But come back. This week's pretty action-packed. Let's go through that first. So yeah, thanks, Yukazshaddow, for being with us today, and all this awesome stuff that you and SV and the rest of the Londomly Londom community quest organizers have put together. Tomorrow morning, my time, or evening, your time, is Shallow Dive with Love with Nathan. I believe we're going to be joined by Bangout, so that's just going to be super fun. If you don't know who Bangout is, you should. I'm going to jump in with the Nasty Hooks. Probably going to go do some building over on the Maple Glazed Jerky plot tomorrow around, 10:30 or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday evening, tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we are going to be joined for Tech Talk on a Tuesday by Beatscoin, who are doing some really cool stuff with music and art.
I need to chat with those guys.
And working together closely with both Shipples and Shippletopia. If you don't know who they are, there's a preamp to that on Shallow Dive with Love. We already met them, me and Bull Shipples, maybe a month ago or so. On Wednesday, I believe, Media Moguls, we have Austin Linney, who is Austin Linney, who is a guy who, came back basically from nothing, rough life, and became like a motivational kind of therapist, speaker. Now he's kind of turned his focus on NFTs. He's going to be one of the new co-hosts on the Crypto Writer podcast network, doing some really cool things. He's going to do an NFT show over there. So we're going to have him on here, maybe just hang out, maybe get some therapy for being, I don't know, addicts or something, because like we're all degens, right? And so that's it came to us highly recommended from Sean, our good friend over at Crypto Writer, and that's kind of where the degen episode came from on our Crypto Writer podcast a couple weeks ago. On Thursday, we're going to have a Crypto Writer podcast, and I'm pretty excited about this one. We're going to be talking about metaversal art galleries. So we have a pretty good crew of people. Joe from over on the Crypto Writer, TC is going to join us. He's here. We've got a couple other Nifty BC, who you probably all know from this show. And on Friday, it's slipping my mind the project name, but on Friday we have a new project. It's basically an avatar project that is kind of an interesting little thing that they've built up. So we're going to be interviewing them. And that's all the normal show schedule for this week. There might be a few of Corey or of me or of Jen or some of the other people on our channel thrown in there. Like Yukazshaddow said, you'll be on with Jen in the next few days. And I think Jen's got to line up all of her own as well. So definitely subscribe to our channel. It's in the links below. Check it all out, because I mean we're streaming these days almost more often than we're not. So we appreciate the support. And that was the most perfect timing of all time. Anything you want to shout out there, you could shout out before he comes back and hits the play button.
I can't even remember if there was anything.
So definitely go over and follow Yukazshaddow on Twitter. Definitely go into the Londomly Londom community and interact with those guys. Corey, let's do the play button and then wrap it up.
All right, man. Just buckle up.
I have always been a dreamer, just as you are dreaming now, Wanderer. In my youth, my dreams showed me such fantastic visions, fantastical worlds and grand journeys, wonders greater than my eyes had yet beheld. It was my grandmaster, Corey Cottrell, a world creator unlike any other, who first showed me the true nature of my dreams. I was not just a dreamer, but a seer of that which has not yet come to pass, and soon a builder of stories. As the years flew by, I had the great privilege to pass through each of my dreams, given reality by my own hands, my own choices. And I came to realize that this was the nature of dreams, to become our reality, our future. Only I had been gifted a clearer glimpse than most. As my dreams grew in number, they began to branch like an ever-growing tree, and I knew that my choices were now laid out before me. Step by step, I picked my own path, gazing eagerly ahead to the time when I would behold my destiny. Yet, when that time came, I found myself in the Grand Master's workshop, full to the brim with magical vials. I was puzzled that this should be the end to my journey, and yet something drew me, a random vial, which to me shone so much brighter than the others. On its side was etched one word, Londom. Unable to stop myself, I opened the vial and inhaled deeply its sweet vapor. A new world exploded before my eyes. Visions of its past, present, and future racing through my mind, until, at last, I blinked, and I stood no longer in the workshop, but before my Grandmaster, in this new world, this Londom. And now I tell you the secret which he bestowed upon me there, that this is not your ending any more than that was mine, but a new beginning, which is held in this seed, given to me by the Grand Master himself, now held before you, as you join me on this quest. With our combined dreams, your choices, and my glimpse into the future, we will build London's destiny, branch by branch. From this beginning, we will build a community of choice, cooperation, and above all, gratitude, filled with the greatest wonders of our imaginations, in a world where our fate is crafted by our own hands. Take my hand, adventurer, gaze into the future with me, and let us decide what our path holds. Our journey begins here, in the uplift. Come to me and step into our story.
That did actually make me think of a couple of shout outs. Somebody mentioned the voiceover. We did have an excellent voiceover guy for this. Like SV was like, I know somebody who does a great old man wizard voice, and we're going to have him do it. And so that's where that came in. And those builds you're seeing, those are all people in London. Those are their plots. And it's the people that are in the story too. Like not everybody, because not everybody got back to me just yet. But like those plots are plots from players who are in the storyline right now.
Yeah, the whole thing is just, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yep.
Come back often.
Yes, please.
Keep us informed. I want to like that. Just like that could be on TV, really.
Choppy chop. Yikes.